Alright, we're gonna keep this moving. We got another person from the, I guess somebody called them the SOS squad. We're gonna go ahead and bring somebody else up from the list. Y'all please put your hands together for Matt. Energy, y'all, energy. That's right.
Part of the SOS Brigade. This guy's in the front. What I'm going to read is a story, but it doesn't really help if I just read it. I gotta explain it. What happens is, background information and all that, is that this guy named Brody Aaron, and he's been experimented on in the 40s and 30s. I haven't really come up with the date yet. And he's become basically immortal. And so far, he's been living forever. And so, he also is very disfigured. He's got symmetrical scars all over his body. So he wears a mask over his face and, covers his entire body so there's no flesh whatsoever being shown. Because, if his mask, someone takes his mask off, he goes primal. And this is what happens, 40 or 50 some years later in 1983 in Detroit. So here it goes. The year was 1983. The location was downtown Detroit. This place also happened to be a rotting, festering, decaying cesspool at the time. More specifically, the place was the cluttered mess of an office of one Brody Aaron, where the story began. The time was 2 in the afternoon, and Brody lay in a deep sleep. 6 minutes later, the phone rang violently with no shred of remorse for the unconscious. Brody cursed underneath a pile of dirty clothes, pizza boxes, and unopened letters as he fumbled around for the phone. He picked up the phone and answered the call by asking, "Do you have any idea what time it is?" There was a silence in the room as the person on the other end told him that it was only 2 in the afternoon. Brody asked why he was called. The person answered, "A murder at the docks." Brody repeated the man's words with giddiness. "I'll be there in 2 shakes of a chimpanzee's tail." Brody jumped out from under a pile of trash and opened the closet. Took out a clean shirt, pair of pants, and socks. Changed into his fresh clothes and looked at the picture on his desk of his deceased wife and daughter. And he would have cried had he had tear ducts left. 2.5 hours later, Brody arrived at the docks. It was rather windy outside, and his brown trench coat flapped wildly in the wind, in unison with his green necktie that matched his tennis shoes. He held onto his brown fedora in a sniffle attempt to prevent its escape from his head. He lifted a portion of his full face mask with a pattern of a smiley face, revealing a symmetrical scar on each side of his face, and stuck a piece of nicotine gum inside his mouth. He cracked his knuckles as he asked the 2 cops at the crime scene what was happening. The whiter police officer, named Steve, told him that it was murder, and then he told him that over the phone. His irritation at the masked man was evident as he kept fussing with his brown mustache, but of course Brody ignored the obvious sign. Brody crouched next to the cadaver. He poked the body and yelled, "Wake up, you lazy bastard!" And of course, nothing happened. Brody came to the conclusion that the man was in fact dead, and asked for his paycheck in a calm voice. Steve's face was glowing red with rage. All the pressure residing within his head was released in a rapidly flowing stream of curse words. The younger, timid officer tried his level best to remind his partner of his high blood pressure and urged him to relax away from Brody. Brody started to dig into the pockets of the corpse, where he found a wallet and said, "Score! He's got 2 20s, want one?" while waving the 2 bills in the air. "Brody, you're violating the crime scene. How dare you call me a queer necrophilia," he said. The officer stammered, trying to tell Brody that he didn't mean that. "I'm just joshing you," he said as he slapped him on the back. "If your name was Josh, it would be just like a sitcom." "Oh, what the hell? Your new name is Josh." Josh tried in vain to protest his new name, but Brody cut him off by telling him to quit fooling around and asked if there were any witnesses. He told Brody of the dock worker who found the body. Brody crouched once more to examine the body. The corpse was lying on his stomach and was reasonably healthy before his murder. The man was bald and had a scar that resembled a headband, which appeared to continue onto the front of his head. Brody flipped the body over onto his back and noticed to his dismay that not only did the scar continue on his forehead, but that the man had other cuts on the side of his mouth. This was not the scene of the murder, Brody stated. "How do you know?" Rookie asked. "Elementary, my dear Joshua. My name is..." "Don't argue with your superiors," Brody interrupted. "I'll bet you'll also find more cuts all over his body." "Yeah, we know. It's just like the other murders," Steve said, returning from his car. "There were others like this one?" Brody asked, surprised at the news. "Yeah, Aaron. There were 3 others like this, no connection between the 4 of them, different races, different genders, different occupations, different everything. Steve answered. You won't find a connection, Brody stated. Oh, and how on earth do you know this? Steve demanded. Because I know the guy who did this. And who would that be? The same guy that did this to me, Brody answered as he revealed his symmetrically scarred face to the 2 officers. His face appeared to be nearly identical to the cadaver's. I'm going to stop there. Because it's way too long.
So right now, I'm going to go ahead, since you're filming, I'm going to go ahead and bring Thoreau up here. Y'all put your hands together for Mike Thoreau. Bring that mohawk up here. That's why I picked you. That's why I picked you. We mohawk cousins.
Alright, before I start, I just want to tell everyone that I've been writing poetry since a month ago. So this is about like a third of all the poems I've written, like compiled for you. Alright. A figure of slight frame approaches a microphone and is alone and is here to postpone a crushing loneliness, a comely homeliness, an enveloping blandness, an encroaching madness, a pitiful silhouette and a last chance evacuation of the soul begins to lament and repent and tells life to get bent and then collapses, completely spent. And then rises. The ragdoll is not done, and it begins to stun the audience. The audience is ecstatic. The response is automatic, because now the figure communicates ecstasy, and is about to be far more beautiful than you, far more beautiful than me. And as the poem begins to culminate, the phantom begins to eliminate all the grime of putting it off till tomorrow, of lowered expectations, of insincere apologies, of unbridled compromises, of outright failures, of technical failures, of minor failures, of catastrophic failures, of failures in retrospect, of failures not realized yet. Again, the skeleton collapses and relapses back into death. With his last breath, it makes every son of Seth and daughter of Eve believe that one day what makes them grieve will somehow be transcended and broken hearts be mended. The figure leaves the stage and clocks in at 9 o'clock.
You only had your birthday like a month ago. You were born a slam poet. You need to get in the competition and start killing that. Alright. I need a couple things to happen real quick here. First of all, I need you guys to put your hands together for we're gonna shift it a little bit here. We're gonna do something a little different. We got a couple cats by the names of Tommy Two Hands and M. Stevens that are gonna be coming to the mic next.